friends, welcome to Super Sunita's Happy World channel. Today I am going to narrate another popular story of Mrs. Sudha Murthy. The title of the story is Uncle Sam. Our village was 30 kilometers away from the main city. So many people like Keshav lived in our village and commuted to the city, which worked out cheaper. Keshav was our neighbor and he worked for a private company in the city. Keshav had two sons. One of them went to New York and started working there. The other one became a college lecturer in the city. Keshav was very proud of his son in America. In the 60s and 70s, it was a great achievement to go to America. The possibility of a better future in India was bleak. The jobs offered were either in the government or in public sector companies. Even now, I clearly remember that when my father booked a Fiat car, the waiting period was 17 years. Having a telephone at home was also a rich man's affair. The government policies were so strict that it made foreign travel next to impossible, even for wealthy people. In those days, whenever somebody went abroad, even to a place nearby like Bangkok, Hong Kong or Singapore, people would say "Bon voyage" in a special section of the local newspaper to spread the word in the city and inform the relatives. When they returned, the picture was printed in the newspaper to announce the successful completion of their tour. In such an economic situation, Keshav's oldest son Mahesh went on a scholarship to the USA and settled there. The percentage of people who went on a student visa and returned to India was hardly 1%, and Mahesh was no exception to the rule. He was probably the first person from our village to go to the USA. Keshav spoke proudly of him. He fondly referred to him as my son in New York rather than as Mahesh. Whenever anyone went to his house, they saw lots of photographs of Mahesh in color, which was rare back then. The different pictures showed Mahesh and his wife standing in front of their car or visiting Niagara Falls or the Statue of Liberty, dressed in winter coats with snow all around them. Whenever Mahesh came to India, he brought two heavy suitcases containing perfumes, cigarette lighters, nylon saris, suit pieces, plastic lunch boxes, cigarettes and many other things. He displayed all of them in his parents' living room. Most people in our village went to meet him to ask about life in America. He talked about life there as if it was a fairyland. I stay in a small town near New York. The roads are so clean and neat. There is not an inch of dust there. We don't lock our houses. Nobody comes and steals anything from anyone. When you go to a departmental store, there you get various juices like orange, grape and mosambi. They are sold in huge glass jars and we don't have to return the jars. At the billing counter, the items are given in a plastic bag and it's not even charged. You get everything under one roof, unlike in India. The grocery stores there contain a variety of food which you cannot even imagine. Then Mahesh would show some photographs of the grocery stores. His brother's wife Rama served tea or coffee to the visitors. But Mahesh's wife Malati sat with her husband and continued his speech from where he left off. Whenever I wear a sari and go out, people look at me and tell me how beautiful I am. They touch my silk sari and ask me many questions about how I drape it so beautifully. They also look at my bindi and ask many questions. Cooking is a joy there. You get cut and frozen vegetables. If you go to the Indian store, we get the best curry ingredients, and you can't get that quality in India. The best quality is sent there as export. Just the other day, I saw elaichi in Rama's kitchen. It was so small. But look at the elaichi that I've brought from there. They are 10 times bigger. Normally, Mahesh gave a small gift to everybody who visited him. A bottle of perfume, a pack of cigarettes, a sachet of Spanish saffron or cinnamon sticks. It was a custom in our village that when you receive a gift, you had to reciprocate. So people requested Mahesh and his family to come to their house for tea or dinner. Mahesh would turn to his wife and ask her, "Dear, are we free that day? Shall we accept this invite?" Malati would pull out an appointment diary, make a fuss and say, "So sorry, we are not free that day." We had never heard the word dear being used in our village before. We considered it very awkward to call a wife dear in public. But Mahesh would explain, that's how a husband and wife address each other in America. Mahesh and Malati had 2 children, a boy and a girl. They wore beautiful clothes and went around the village wearing imported shoes. Malati always told her children, "Don't drink water in anybody's house. Don't eat raw salads here either. Be careful of the mosquito bites and wear a hat so that you don't get sunburnt." Rama used to get tired of Malati's stay in the village. While Keshav and his wife enjoyed the company of their son and daughter-in-law from New York, she had to do all the work. Malati did not like to help because she said there was so much dirt here. Rama had to boil water and make different dishes every day according to Mahesh and his family's demands. Many years passed. Our joint family no longer remained joined. The ancestral home no longer existed. I still refer to our uncles, aunts and cousins as family. But the truth was that the relationship was less like one between family members and more like that between acquaintances. Our entire family was spread out in different parts of India and the globe. Physically, there was a distance separating us. In our minds, there was a larger distance between us. The other day, I was surprised to meet Mahesh in the city. Now, he looked fit and energetic, but somewhere I felt I saw sadness in his eyes. I was very happy to see him after so long. I asked him, "Do you have time for a cup of tea?" Without referring to the appointment diary, he immediately agreed. We went to a nearby cafe and started chatting. "When did you come here? How is Malati Akka? How are your children? I heard that they have done very well at studies." "I came a few days ago. Malati has gone to Mount Abu. The children are busy as usual." "Is Malati Akka on a holiday without you?" At the back of my mind, I remembered the word dear, which I had heard for the first time when I was a teenager. No, she has joined the Brahma Kumaris. They ran a successful branch in America. Malati is in charge of one center. I find that there is so much change in India. Of course, India has changed a lot in the last 2 decades. I asked again, "Where are your children?" "My daughter did her MBA from Harvard. She is now in the West Coast, married to a Chinese man and happily settled. My son is pursuing his thesis on the difficulties of African tribes at New York City, and right now he is at Zimbabwe." "How is your brother Ramesh? What about his family?" "I hardly go to the village now, so I don't know how people are doing. After your father's death, we hardly hear about your family." "Ramesh is doing exceedingly well. When we were young, he bought a patch of land in the outskirts of the village. We all thought it was a bad investment, and that he should have brought the land adjacent to the highway. But today there are bridges, underpasses, and future expansion of the roads. The government has taken all the land on either side of the highway. Our village is no longer remote. It's an extension of the city. Ramesh has converted his land into a resort and makes good money out of it. His son runs the business and even owns a petrol bunk. Our ancestral home is converted to a shopping mall, and I sold my share of the property to Ramesh for a few thousand rupees in those days. There are many things that I shouldn't have done. I saw a distinct expression of regret on his face. I was curious to know more, but I did not ask. I thought that if he wanted to share, I would let him do so in his own time. Mahesh continued, "There is nothing to hide. The Government of India has opened up many opportunities with its new policy in 1991, and hence there are tremendous job prospects in India. I can feel India vibrating with economic boom and high energy. I find that there is at least one person abroad from each family in our village now. It's no longer a novelty to go to America. Whatever we get there, we can buy in India at much cheaper price. The land prices have gone up so much that it is more expensive to buy property in India than in the US. Ramesh is the best example of this. I made a mistake." "What do you mean?" "I should not have gone to Uncle Sam's land." So friends, I hope you like the story very much. Please encourage new talent, new videos. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you so much for watching.